Have you ever encountered someone who seems to just have everything together, whether that be school, their personal life, and the lifestyle they actually want to live? Well, let me tell you something that they do that you probably don't. They have the healthy habits that they need in order to balance everything that they have, whether that be having enough hours of sleep, having a good diet, and exercising enough. It really all lies in the habits that you have in your day-to-day life that will really build you into the person who you are becoming and the person who you are. This is why these people have seem to have their lives so much better. The only thing that sets you apart from them is what habits they have. And so that's what we're going to be covering in today's episode. I'm going to be teaching you how I managed to have everything balanced last year and the habits I developed in order to have everything balanced and live my life happily and not be so stressed out. Now, first, let's start off with defining what are healthy habits. I did list some of them in the intro. Healthy habits could be having enough exercise, a good diet, having enough sleep. Enough sleep is so important, and learning to manage your stress. Those are just a few that the people who have their lives together probably have and are doing in their daily life that you probably are not. Um, Now, all these habits are really going to shape how you feel physically, emotionally, and mentally, which is why you want to start developing them as soon as possible because it is important that you are in the right body shape, right state of mind and have good emotional health in order to not be so stressed out, in order to feel better about yourself, and in order to treat others better as well. And um, I started developing really healthy habits, especially all through sophomore year. I got a full 8 hours of sleep. I got all my homework done before I went to bed. I got up at a pretty good hour to do exercise, to do my morning routine, to take care of myself. Um, I I did all this while also being involved in an extracurricular that took a lot of my time, and I managed to get all my homework done. I passed with a 4.1 GPA, and this is what I'm going to teach you in this episode to develop those healthy habits that you need to be better mentally and physically. Now there are certain areas where you do especially need to develop these healthy habits, and the three main ones are your physical health, your your eating, which I'm also working on that currently, and your sleep hygiene, so your sleep routine and all that. And to begin, your physical health involves your how much exercise you're getting, um, how many hours of sunlight you're getting a day, which is really important. Sunlight can really help boost your mood, and it has so many different health benefits. I know you might say, "Oh, I don't have enough time to do exercise in the morning," or "Oh, I don't have the money for a gym membership." Even if you cannot go to the gym, at least try and work out at home. This was a habit that I developed. You really just have to find the right time for you. I experimented a lot. I did exercise in the afternoon, like that would be like around 7 that I would do exercise, and then I started realizing, hey, for me personally, I started doing exercise really early in the morning. So I'm talking like on school days, 4:30. I would get up, I would do a good 30 minutes of exercise, ab workouts, anything that I felt like I needed just to feel better, just to have some exercise. Um, you know, it really just depends on your own schedule and what works best for you. And, you know, in order to make it a habit, you just have to be consistent with it. It is about consistency, not about intensity. Remember that as we're talking about all of this, consistency over intensity. If you can keep it consistent, then you can start upping the intensity the longer you do it and the more it actually becomes a habit. Um, Even if you can incorporate like 10 minutes of exercise into your day, 10 minutes is nothing. You probably spend 10 minutes scrolling on social media in your on your toilet. So why not instead spend those 10 minutes doing exercise? If you have a backyard, maybe just do one lap around your backyard. That's it. It really is about keeping consistent, making yourself be consistent and all of that. Um, Find things you enjoy doing. If you really like sports, maybe consider trying out for a sports team. Or if you don't want to make sports your entire thing, play with go out and play maybe volleyball with your friends, or find a sport that you all really enjoy and you can just spend time together with them, which it helps both of you guys in the end. You could dance. I know a lot of people who like to dance, or they'll do like dance exercise videos. It's really fun to do. I used to do them all the time. Walking even, like just walking around your house, listening to music. Sometimes I'll do that while I'm doing stuff, just to get your body moving a little bit. Um, Anyways, now we're going, I know I might be going a little bit fast, but you really just have to think about where do I need to think about, you know, improving. Healthy eating, obviously, the one thing that can be said is maybe, just watching what you eat. I can't say too much about this because I'm also currently working on it. It just fueling your body. Make sure to eat a good breakfast in the morning, especially before school. I would always make myself some eggs, some toast, just to get something in my body before I went to school, so I wouldn't pass out. You don't want to pass out in the middle of school. Stay hydrated. Make sure you drink enough water every day. Um, I I have a water bottle that I drink out of every single day, and it's helped me so much. It boosts my energy, it boosts my mood, and all of that. It just makes me feel better about myself. Overall, that's all I can say about food. Eat enough, drink enough, make sure you are doing all of that just so you can stay healthy and all that. Now for sleep, I know a lot of teens my age do struggle with this. I've talked about this in previous episodes. It is so essential for our growth because we are still developing, our brains are still developing a lot as we're getting older, as we're growing into our adult selves. It's really good for your cognitive, for your brain to actually function and all of that, so you just have to keep that in mind. And of course it's going to help your mood, because a lot of people, they don't get enough sleep and they just tend to be more grumpy, they tend to be more snappy at people and all of that, and you want to avoid that. If anything, you want to go into school in a good mood. Honestly, you want to try and go to school in a good mood, which is why developing these habits, exercise, drinking enough water, eating enough, are going to be really important, because the better you feel going into school, especially, the better you're going to perform in school. Just, if that's a goal of yours this year, just keep those things in mind. And remember, I'm going to repeat this the entire episode. It is consistency over intensity. If you're consistent with it, then you can start being more intense and more intense. What I like to do for my sleep schedule is I like to start about 2 weeks before I actually start school. I will go to bed at 9:30. Like I'm really strict on myself on this. Go to bed at 9:30 and then wake up at 5 or 5:30, and I do my routine, try and set up my routine for the upcoming school year, because I know I'm definitely going to need it, because I'm doing a lot this school year, taking a lot of APs, college classes, all of that. You really just have to make sure you have a routine before you go to bed as well. I've been trying to set that up too for myself. I want to meditate before I go to bed, or maybe read a little bit before I go to bed, just so I have something good going into my mind instead of something negative going into my mind before I go to bed. And of course, the one thing that I know us teens have trouble doing is limiting our screen time before bed as well. The blue light can really affect us, especially because we're younger. We don't want to be blind when we're older, so obviously just limiting that screen time and trying to stay off scrolling for too late or anything is really going to help you. Now, if you want to develop healthy habits for your mental health, there are so many ways you can start doing this, especially as a teen. Even just finding 5 minutes to meditate, or if you don't want to meditate, maybe to just take some deep breaths, calm yourself down, just to, if you're not feeling the best that day, or giving yourself a day to rest. That's totally okay too, taking a mental health day to just do stuff that you love to do and all that. People who have their life put together, they find the time to relax when they need to relax. Like, yes, sometimes it's difficult if you have so many things to do, but you have to be in a good state of mind in order to get things done. This is why people who you see are more successful, have their life together, have everything balanced. This is what they do. They find time to relax. They find time to meditate. They find time to be mindful. Even if it's a quick 5-second pep talk, they find that time, because they know that The time they spend doing something that's good for them, good for their mental health and their physical health, the better they're going to perform, the better they're going to do. And that's why they're ahead. That is exactly why they're ahead. Because they don't make excuses to not find time to do any of this. I'm telling you that right now. I learned that the hard way. And I learned that as I was doing it, because people will constantly ask me, how do you have your life together? How do you have your life together? I prioritize what I need to prioritize. And sometimes I need to prioritize myself. And that's what you need to do sometimes too. Prioritize yourself, especially your mental health. You know, you can talk to someone about how stressed you are, or work together with someone if you're stressed over a project, you know. Don't be afraid to ask for help. That's something else that people who are really far ahead or seem really far ahead, they're not afraid to ask for help. If they need help, they're going to find a way to get it. It might be from a different teacher, it might be from one of your friends. They find that help if they need it. When they need it, they ask for help. They also positively talk to themselves. You know, I'm sure it's been proven somewhere that the positive self-talk that you give to yourself literally enhances your mood. It literally boosts your mood. It boosts your happiness. Like, I promise you. And again, you just have to be consistent with it, whether it be, you have a little sticky note in your mirror that says, you're great, you're wonderful, you're beautiful, you're amazing. If you see that every day, you're going to start believing it. This is where the consistency part comes in. If you're so consistent with something, that's the most important part of developing a habit, because that's what it's all about. It being a habit in your day-to-day life, all the time. And having that time management. I made a podcast episode on this before. Being able to increase your productivity and reduce your stress because you're prioritizing what you need to prioritize instead of scrolling on your phone, instead of, just sitting there doing nothing sometimes, which, sometimes it's okay, mental health. Take care of yourself when you need to take care of yourself. But if you want to get ahead, if you want to develop these healthy habits, you have to focus on what you need to focus on. Use planners, use apps. I did a whole episode on this, like I said. Just prioritize what you need to prioritize, and you're gonna do so much better, I promise you. Now, ultimately this video is just like combining what I've said in all my other videos. So if you just want a more detailed explanation on time management, social health, which is what I'm about to talk about, or anything like that, make sure to go check out my channel. I have a bunch of podcast episodes about that. If you just want to listen to them while you're doing something, please do it. I hope it helps a little bit. Anyway, social health. Who you surround yourself with is beyond important. I promise you, you're going to be a completely different person if you surround yourself with people who actually have these healthy habits and who actually have their life somewhat together, rather than being with people who do not have their life together and who could not care less about their grades, who could not care less or don't have the same goals as you do. Obviously, everyone's different, and obviously it might be a little bit more difficult to find people who you maybe look up to. But if you find someone who you look up to, don't be afraid to ask what they're doing. Don't be afraid to build a relationship with them, a friendship with them, and ask for help from them, because clearly they're doing something right. They're doing something that you're not doing in order to have these healthy habits, to have their life put together that you are not doing. And, obviously these people are 9 times out of 10, they are more than happy to help you be successful too. Because these people only want to see other people successful. That's all they want. They don't want to see anyone fail. They don't. They don't want to see themselves fail either. That's why they're there for other people. They're there for you. They're there for anyone who might need it. And, they're going to provide support. They're going to improve your self-esteem as well, rather than people who might be always putting you down or talking down to you or talking bad behind your back. Like, I made a whole video on friendships and how to avoid toxic people. Avoid the toxic people at all costs. People who are successful, avoid those people. They cut those people out of their life because they know they're not worth having around. They know that the people worth having around are going to support you, and are going to be kind to you, they're going to be respectful to everyone around them. And again, these people who have their life together, they tend to attract other people, whether that be good or bad people. They attract people because there's something about them that makes them so mesmerizing in a way. They seem put together. You can see physically this person is put together. This person wakes up early. They do exercise. They have a good skin routine. They are like, it is so noticeable. If you go into school, you're gonna notice usually who has their life more put together, and trust me, you're gonna be shocked with, who you actually want to surround yourself with, which is who you don't. And if you want to stay friends with someone, but you're like, maybe this isn't the right person, it's all about communication. And sometimes you don't even have to communicate with someone. Like, you're allowed to cut people out of your life who do not deserve to be in your life. You're allowed to. It's completely okay. You don't have to give a reason for why you cut someone out. If you want to cut someone out, please go ahead. Do what's best for you, because it's okay to be selfish. And of course, you still have to be respectful. Just remember that. Now, for building and, like I've said, building and maintaining these healthy habits I've talked about all through this video, start small. Don't be too harsh on yourself when you're just starting out, because I promise you, if you're harsh on yourself, if you're trying to build these habits way too fast, it's not going to work out. Because it took me months and months of actually doing something working out consistently, eating right, taking care of myself, finding a good skin routine. It takes time, and you have to be willing to put in that time and put in that effort. And if you don't start off small, or if you push yourself too far, you're going to come crumbling down. You just will. Don't be afraid to ask for help from people. This is why I make these videos, to help other people, because I want people to see that it is possible. Because I was once in the place you might be at now, where I had no idea. I didn't have a schedule. I stayed up till like 2 or 3 in the morning every school night. But I don't do that anymore, because I know it's not good for me. I know I should have never even done that. But, it's just learn from your mistakes, try again. Don't be afraid to keep trying. Because I promise you, if you develop these healthy habits, even if it's halfway through the school year, it's going to help you out so much. I promise you. Even if it's something really small, like my goal is to drink an extra glass of water today. If you reach that goal, you better celebrate, because if you reach that goal, a goal is a goal. If you reach it, good job. That's good on you. Celebrate the small things, and then the more you celebrate the small things, the better you're going to feel. And then when you reach a really big goal of yours, which is ultimately developing this good habit, it's going to feel like it took no time, because you started off small, you took your time, and you celebrated whenever you did achieve it. With exercise, maybe take a short walk after school. You can start taking taking a 5-minute walk and then increasing it to 10. Like, that's something. Something is better than nothing. I think that's what really throws a lot of people off, that they think, oh, but my goal is to read 100 pages. If you read 1 page, that's better than reading no pages, right? Yeah, so adopt that mindset. That something is better than nothing. Trying is better than not trying at all, which I know it seems obvious, but just really think about it. You can increase the intensity with the more consistent you are with something. Habits really become easier once they are part of your routine. So include these things into your daily routine, and you're going to notice a big old difference, I promise you. Because if you include into your routine that you maybe already have established somewhat, it's going to be easier to just stick with that routine. Like, if you brush your teeth every morning, you probably don't even notice that you do it. You just do it because you've been doing it for so long. So it comes naturally. And one day, I'm sure you see these successful people and you're like, oh, well, it probably just came naturally to them. I promise you, it did not. I promise you, it did not. It took months of hard work for them to get where they are. So don't assume anything. Just think about, what can I do to better myself? What can I do to get to that level of having everything balanced? What can I do to get to that level of having these healthy habits? Just think about what you can do and overcome all obstacles that come your way. You can use reminders on your phone. Be like, hey, set a reminder for me to drink a glass of water at this time, and make sure you do it at the same time every day, so then your body gets used to it. Because if you do it like scattered throughout the day, it's not really gonna work out so much. So just keep that in mind. Um, you know, a lot of challenges that these people have also faced is they don't feel motivated all the time sometimes, but they still push through. They push themselves to do stuff because they know it's good for them. They know that's going to help them out eventually. And yes, take breaks when you need them, of course, but if you feel unmotivated, try and find motivation. Have in the back of your mind, this is going to help me. I'm going to be successful if I start doing this. This is going to help me so much. And I promise you, if you just have that positive mindset instead of thinking, oh, what if it doesn't work? What if? Try and get those what ifs out of your mind. If you want to, write them down in a journal. Write down all your what ifs. Rip that piece of paper and into a bunch of pieces. Throw it away, and that's something that I found that helped me out a lot. Just to keep myself motivated and to keep myself doing what I'm doing. Um, and sometimes there are setbacks. Sometimes you're gonna feel like a failure if you don't do something consistently. That's okay. Just get up and try again. Do not give up no matter what. Just stay consistent. Stay consistent. Boost intensity the longer you do something. It doesn't have to be, right off the bat. It does not have to be. I promise you. Just take things slow. Take your time. It's going to be okay. You have your entire life, and yes, it is good to build these healthy habits earlier in life so then you can use them when you're an adult, when you're out in the real world and you're actually experiencing life, so you have your life a little bit better together. But even if you're an adult watching this, or I don't know how old you are, I don't know, but the fact that you're even watching this video means that you want to put in the effort. And that's already more than a lot of people can say for themselves. So kudos to you. I promise you. And there's so many other YouTubers who you can watch and you can listen to who are going to help you out as well. Um, you know, find a support system if you need it. I'm always going to be there. I usually post on my Instagram like daily reminders or like daily motivation or anything like that. So if you need it, you go check that out too. You and your friends can be your motivation. You guys can do stuff together and try to reach a goal together as well. Okay, that's gonna wrap up this episode. I know it's hopefully a little bit shorter than the other ones were. We talked about understanding healthy habits, key areas where you can develop those healthy habits, and how you can maintain and start actually implementing these healthy habits as well. I encourage you to start even today, even if it's something small. Go maybe drink an extra glass of water, go out on a little walk. It seems really nice outside right now. Even if it's something small, you can do it. I believe in you. No one else does. I believe in you. Even if I'm a total stranger to you, I'm going to be here to support you no matter what. This is what this channel is all about. It's about helping you, making sure you become a better you. And yeah, next episode, make sure to go on my Instagram. I usually post a story so my audience can vote on what they want to see next. If you're interested in that, go check that out. And thank you for listening. I hope this helped a little bit. And if you need anything else, please just reach out to me. Don't be afraid to reach out or anything. I'm more than happy to help in just about anything. And yeah, I hope you guys have a really wonderful day or night or whenever you're watching this. Remember, you're loved, you're cared about, and I promise you it's going to be okay.